Hey guys, so today we are going to be looking at what happened in Europe after World War II ended. So, this period in history is called the Cold War. The Cold War was a competition between the capitalist United States, Uncle Sam right there, and the communist Soviet Union, the Russian bear right there. It lasted from 1945, so from the end of World War II until 1991. The two sides competed economically, so they competed with money, scientifically, so with science, and military, so with the armies, navies, and air forces. However, the US and the Soviet Union never directly fought because both sides had nuclear weapons and that could destroy the world. So they knew they could not use their strongest weapons, and so they did not fight each other directly. Why did the United States and the Soviet Union never fight each other directly? So, the main disagreement between the United States and the Soviet Union was about democracy and communism. The United States is a democracy. That means that decisions are made by the people voting for who they want to elect. And then those people who are elected are responsible for making decisions the way the people would want them made. The US also had an economic system, so a way for managing money called capitalism. In capitalism, decisions are not made by the government, decisions are made by companies. Good things about the US system were it gave people freedom of choice, and if you worked hard, you could build your company up, you could start a business, and you could get rewarded for your hard work. Cons were it was unequal. So if your dad was rich, you were going to be rich. If your dad was poor, you were going to start with less than a rich man's son would, so it would be harder for you to build yourself up than for the rich people. It was also unpredictable. Under capitalism, since the economy is not controlled by the government, it can change very fast. And so people can lose their money in their homes very quickly, like we saw in the Great Depression. The Soviet Union had a system called communism. That meant that all of the decisions were made by the Communist Party. You could not vote for people who were not in the Communist Party, so your vote didn't really matter. Whoever the party wanted to have the job would get the job. They also had a control economy. That means rather than individual people making decisions, all decisions were made by the government. So the government would tell companies what to make. Say you wanted to start a company making pancakes, the government could look at you and say, no, you can't make pancakes, you can only make bread. That's it, nothing else. And you would just have to do it. The government also decided who got what. So supposedly everyone would get the same thing. In practice, the people running the government gave better things to the people they liked better. The pros of communism are more equality, so more people are equal. Again, not everyone is equal, but more people are equal, and predictability. You know what is going to happen on the next day because the government makes the rules and everybody has to follow those same sets of rules. The cons, so the big problems with it, were lack of choice. Nobody got to make their own decision. Everybody needed to listen to the government at all times. You could not move where you wanted to. You could not get jobs where you wanted to. You could not buy what you wanted to. You could only move to, work, or buy what the government told you to. And finally, there was little incentive to work. Under communism, everyone got the same thing. So if you worked hard, you got the same thing as the guy next to you who just sat on his butt and did nothing. So, in the United States, under democracy and capitalism, you have more decisions, but there are more risks. In communism, under the Soviet Union, you would have more stability, but you would not get to make your own decisions, and the government could tell you when and what you had to do. And if you didn't listen, you could end up in prison or dead. Which one of these systems would you rather live under and why? That went on longer than I expected, so we're going to call it for right now, and we'll pick up on Wednesday.